Hey guys, Jeanette Wilde, and once again we have another session of building our Titanic junk journal. And we're using the Titanic papers by Relative History. Also, today I'm going to be using some papers from Thoughtful Studio, and I believe this is her Lighthouse kit. And again, you can get that from the Relative History website. She's a distributor for Thoughtful Studio. So let's take a look at what we're doing today. Let's see here. Here we have the signature. And let's do a flip through where we're at right now. So this page here is another 12 by 12. And I wanted to give lots of room around this really awesome picture of the sunken bow of the ship. So, scored it pretty far over, gives me this little sliver here. And that makes a nice little flap right there. The next page is this long piece of sketchbook paper. And like I said, it's kind of old, so, or not old, so it's not fragile, but it has a nice yellowing. It's pretty cool. And then this page is another of the 12 by 12s, and the top was here, and there's a couple of ladies in this corner. So I cut it down the middle so that I have this cute little half sheet, and the guy on this one, and then in one of the other signatures is the other half with the ladies on the other. So that makes a nice little flap here. And then we have another set of the dyed papers held in to the signature with a hinge. Another sketch paper. And then this is a painting from a book that I got in Armenia. And as you can see, the painting is from 1898. And the book was actually from the early 1900s, I believe, or 1920, something like that. I forget what the but I thought, beautiful picture, goes perfectly with our Titanic theme. And as we continue to flip, there's another sheet held in with the hinge, the other side of the flap, and of course our little image there. Okay, so all I've done to the signature so far is I just inked around the scrapbook paper, just delineates it from this plain paper here. What we're going to do is, I've got another, love my manila folder. You can see on this side, you even got the stamp from the folder. We're going to make a series of pockets. So my plan is to stitch this down to this flap. And that's why you can see I haven't, if you're planning on doing any stitching, sewing into your book, you want to do that before you actually sew the signatures into your book. That's why I typically do pretty much put my entire book together, design all my page and everything before stitching it into my book. Then once it's all in, then I go back through and see, now I can really flip through like a book and see how it works, and if there's something more I want to add or move on. But doing it this way means that as I go, I can change pages out, but also I can do things like this, which is to stitch this page into place. And I'm planning on stitching all the way around because on this I'm going to make a series of little pockets. So this is a page from the, like I said, the Lighthouse kit from Thoughtful Studios, and I made 3 little guys from it, and that's going to make 3 little pockets. So I'm going to stitch in a U on each of these onto this panel, and then I'll have 3 little pockets, and then the whole thing will be stitched onto the page, I think. I might not have enough room. I might need to trim these down a bit so that I have enough room to make it around. Either that or it'll get glued down, because I want a good amount of the paper so I have a good pocket. So maybe I'll just glue this down to the page. So we'll see what happens. So that will make 3 pockets. And then on this page, I've got this great advertisement. This is out of the ephemera from the Titanic collection for Vinolia Auto Toilet Soap used in the Titanic. It is not only in size, but also in luxury of her appointments. The Titanic takes first place among the big steamers of the world. And you get the first class passengers will have this soap. So this, let me move this over so I can open this up. I'm just going to glue this into place here, because I just love this paper, so I want to be able to see it real nicely. And then I have this, what do you call it, time punch card, I believe that's what that is. Punch card for coming into work. And I've scored it here at the end to come up, and I'm going to make a pocket here. Probably might glue, might sew, and that's going to go down here like this. And I again will make this into a big pocket. So now I'm going to try something with this, and won't see if it works till later because I'm not going to make the tag yet. But with this pocket in place like this, I've done this before with other books, but never one with this large of a page, so I'm not sure it's going to work. If I put a tag in and slide one end here and one end into there, it'll hold the page closed. Now, like I said, I've done this many times with smaller pages, but I'm not sure it'll work here. If it doesn't, not a problem. What I also want, may do it also, or just instead of I can decorate a nice paper clip, and the paper clip can go up here and hold that shut. So that is the plan. Now I do still then have this little white space right here. At the moment I don't have any plans for that. Wait till things, as I get going, maybe I'll find something. I might just end up decorating it with, all my little leftover bits. Maybe some of my maps, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I know this is what I want to have, and I also don't have a plan for this side yet. But this is what we have planned for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go stitch these on and decide if. I think I'm going to glue it. Might stitch down here at the bottom, just because, as you can see, it really wants to flap open, which means this has got a curve to it. If I just rely on the glue, you can see even just holding it down, the edge is kind of sticking up. So just to help it along, to ensure that it stays on good, I think I'll stitch at least at the bottom. That won't interfere with my pockets at all, and it'll just give it a little more stability for being on the page. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to close off, close off this little pocket. And then this will, I probably just glue this into place, make that my pocket, and glue this on. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll see what we have when we're done. Be back in a bit. Okay, so I've sewn on the overall panel, glued on the 2 sides and the top, and then as you can see I sewed on the bottom and sewed it in a straight line and then a zigzag, just real solid on there. Of course it makes it even more floppy than it was before, but that's fine. We're going to take care of that. But now you can see I'm just use a scrap piece of paper I have a pocket here. I have 2 little pockets on the sides here, there and there. Okay. And then I took my little ticket here and sewed up the 2 sides. And now, turn this so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to glue this down onto this page. And I'm gluing it in a U, so I have another pocket. So there we go. Okay. All right, now to get that guy down, I'm just going to use my glue stick. So when I do glue stick, I use what I call a glue book, simply because this happens to be a book for doing a video game, which I've played the game twice, so I'm ready to move on to a new one, so I don't need the book anymore. But it makes a really great place so that I can put glue down. I can get it to go edge to edge. And of course the paper there gets the glue. And then I just keep folding the page until that page is pretty much done. I'm sorry about taking this off camera a bit, but I need to be able to see it. So let's see, get it fairly straight, and then down we go. Now that's gonna probably warp just for a bit. Right when it's wet, it'll warp a bit, but it should straighten out. And even if once it dries, it doesn't completely straighten out, the weight of all the pages once you close it will do that for you, so no problem. So there is our next completed page. Like I said, we still have this space that we can do something with, and there's a nice big blank space here. And here we might, so let me see if I've got something here. So what I'm saying is I could make something that kind of tucks in there, and then, well, I don't want to cut that, but it would tuck in here, and that would hold it shut. I don't want to cut the strip because I might want the strip as solid. But again, because this is kind of thick and it's kind of pretty bouncy, I don't know if that's going to work for this one, but even if it doesn't, that's fine. I can use a paper clip up here, maybe a combo of the two. That'll make a cute little look to the book. So that's our page for today, or at least this session. So again, Titanic collection, relative history. Of course, she's got tons of really gorgeous collections. And we also used Thoughtful Studio papers. And you can get those off the Relative History site as well. There's a link there to the Thoughtful Studio papers. Relative History is a distributor for Thoughtful Studio. So if you have questions, you can feel free to private message me. Oh, but my last name is Wilde because I live here in Germany. But if I was in the U.S., I'm Wilde with an E. It's like Oscar Wilde. I've gotten asked. So anyways, that is that for today. We will keep going. I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope it's helping, giving you ideas. And like I said, all of these can be used in all kinds of ways. Mini albums, scrapbook pages, and even a card. So give it a try. I hope you've been enjoying this, and I guess we'll just see you next time. Bye bye.